Yep, us again. Same shirt, same everything.
A little less Mountain Dew.
A little less Mountain Dew for you. Ready?
Let's do this.
Let's go rapid fire. At Mark_the Fish, what do you think of wrestlers that fall off the wagon? Sad?
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, being on the road like that, there's demons and stuff you have to face, and unfortunately, some of them look to the bottle or pills.
Yep, and even when they leave the lifestyle behind, unfortunately, they take friends with them, as in addictions or habits, and those habits can be very tough to break. And I feel for them, I really do.
I'm glad that Jake the Snake and Scott Hall are making efforts to try and clear up from their past.
Let's hope they're serious, and let's hope they stick with it because it's worth it. At WWE 2012-02, if Rock was not going to be at WrestleMania 29, would you think Ryback or CM Punk would be the champion?
Punk would probably still be the champion.
And maybe Ryback would have been the Rumble winner, perhaps, and we might have gotten Ryback first. Maybe. Who knows? But there's a possibility Punk would still be champion. Yes. At MG Solid DX 23, who in your opinion has been the best tag team faction in the WWE in the past 10 years? I'll go with best faction, Evolution.
Yes.
Even the little kitty version in 2009? Oh, yeah, you. Heckle bottom! At Jeremy Blaze 69.
I love when Triple H would talk and shove it like Michaels would just kind of have this confused look on his face when he replied.
At Jeremy Blaze 69. You guys ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? If so, what did you think?
I used to watch it all the time. I haven't watched the last 2 seasons. I enjoyed the show. I think Charlie Day is hilarious.
Why don't you watch it anymore?
I don't know.
I don't watch it. Haven't watched it. So no opinion.
Kitten Mittens is the
Greatest thing ever made. Sure it is. I'll show it to you later.
At Heel Kid. Will Zack Ryder ever get another push?
Out the door.
At FMA 245.
Just being honest with you, you don't get to mouth off as much as Zack Ryder did, and keep your job.
Hey, he's there for now. At FMA.
JTG's still there too.
Good point.
I like the fact that there's an internet site counting how long JTG's been with the company.
At FMA 245, Schleg Daddy, what's your deal with Honey Boo Boo and Brad Maddox? What do you mean, what's my deal? What's your deal with not being on board with these two things? Hashtag Honey Beef Mode at WrestleMania 29. It must happen. If you don't know who Honey Boo Boo is, you check out that little...
Tequila?
Yeah, you check out that little princess. All you have to do is you're on YouTube watching this video. Just type in Honey Boo Boo. You should already know who Brad Maddox is. If not, there's a problem with it.
And if you type in Honey Boo Boo, I'm sorry for you and what you're going to find.
Shouldn't be. At Mr. White, what match feud since Montreal 1997 do you think, if booked differently, could have changed the path of the wrestling business?
I'll give you a recent one. CM Punk leaving with the title.
Big one! Another one would be WWF versus the Alliance at Survivor Series 2001. Maybe you would say the Finger Poke of Doom on January 4th, 1999. Maybe Goldberg versus Nash a week plus before that at Starrcade 98. Several different examples. Your CM Punk one's a great example there. At Tom Star Hartnell, when do you think the late, great Andy Kaufman will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? Really good question. I would have thought maybe this year. Or maybe they'll do it next year. You'd have to assume sometime soon.
And King will be the one to do that induction.
Yes.
And there's nobody else that could.
Pretty much. But yes, it should have already probably happened by now. He's a celebrity that legitimately contributed to the wrestling business.
Good time maybe it would have been when the movie came out about his life.
You would think. At Statoke, with WWE signing indie high flyers such as Pac and El Generico, should they create an X Division style belt?
They can't write for the belts they have. You want to throw another one in there?
Well, I mean, if you did the Cruiserweight show and you had a Cruiserweight belt, would that be a terrible thing?
So you're going to make a new show and put 2 belts on it right off the bat?
Well, I would say instead of an X Division style belt, Cruiserweight style belt.
Okay.
But Mike's got a really good point too. They can't write for the belts they have. We want them to add more. At Edge Oli HD, what did you guys think the first time you saw the Coco Beware Pile Driver music video? It feels just like a pile driver. Fucking song is incredible. Great music video. Especially the corny shit with Hogan and Vince sitting there watching the ladies go by. At Kenny Snyder 1, who would be the next face of WWE?
I have no idea.
I don't even know, quite frankly, if that person is even on the roster today. Because you would have to assume right now, okay, let's put it this way. Is it assumed that as long as John Cena is with the company on a full-time basis, he's the face of the company?
Yes.
Okay, how many years is he going to be the full-time performer?
I'd say I'd give him 4 years, 4 or 5 years. And that might even be stretching it a little.
So somewhere between 4 to 5 years.
He's kind of beat up now, and he's out on the road every day, so...
So you're looking at 4 or 5 years before the WWE is probably even concerned with the problem. Like I said, I don't even know if that person is on the roster today. At Matt Murphy, 1225. Jay Cutler versus Jeff Jarrett in a winner plays QB for the Bears for the next 20 years match. Who you got? A middle finger right at you. How about that? How about that? Is that funny? Did you find that humorous and entertaining?
It's a little funny.
You found it funny too?
Mm-hmm.
I bet Matt Murphy 1225 did. I suppose out of the two, Cutler, because at least he's played quarterback at the NFL level.
At least he can throw a ball.
Maybe at some point in time he would, not totally suck. At Edgemark 565. This must be a question you asked yourself. What is your opinion on the Chris Jericho character in WCW, and do you have a favorite moment of him in WCW? I love that young, aggressive, cocky, in-your-face, over-the-top heel that he was in WCW, and I thought favorite moments when he kept talking about Boris Malenko. You could also talk about his same feud, fucking his 1004 moves. He's the man of 1004 moves. He's going after Goldberg. A lot of favorite memories of Jericho WCW. At GI_Styles_SCS, do you have any opinions on the not ROH, but any other like U.S. independent, Japanese, Mexican, other wrestling company?
Not really. Don't really watch them. Don't watch ROH either.
Kind of similar in that sense, yes. All right. At Robert Woodpath, if WrestleMania ever came to St. Louis, would you consider going to it since it's a few hours drive from you?
I think Chicago would be a easier drive.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're talking about St. Louis, isn't that far away, but in comparison to Chicago, I mean, I would definitely consider it. How about that?
Well, we're considering New Orleans.
Well, considering New Orleans, we are considering it, but I could guarantee if WrestleMania was in St. Louis, it would go beyond consideration into probably application. Why are you trying to host an OTRS party? At Retro Kaiser, if you had OTRS action figures, what accessories would come with them? If you play with them, would it count as masturbation? Would it count as masturbation? Because technically,
It wouldn't count, but you could make jokes about it.
Because technically,
You could be
playing with yourself.
Yes.
Except it would get kind of creepy when Metal D would always play with Tony.
Yeah.
Mark
would be like the chase figure, like the one that you can't find anywhere because they're all sold out.
What accessories would each OTRS action figure have, though?
Yours would come with Smokey.
Probably. And the pencil.
Which is dumb because they could sell Smokey as a separate character.
Well, I'm assuming that he would be his own separate character.
Okay.
Actually, I think you would have a Deuces and Fours pack, so probably be both the cats. I would probably have a pencil in my ear. What about you?
Probably come with a Cena hat.
Maybe a bowling shirt.
Maybe. we'd all come with like a different belt. Like you used to carry the world heavyweight belt around every once in a while. I carried the spinner belt.
I think Tony would have interchangeable sweater fronts. It'd be like a whole accessorized sweater pack. Who would the Metal D have?
Remove the sunglasses.
Yeah. Probably have lots of band shirts because yes, he is that guy that wears the shirt to the concert of the band, and
Yeah. He'd probably have like a Jonas Brothers shirt too.
Mark's figure, I believe, would only be sold to the ladies and would probably come with an extendable cock.
And it would probably vibrate.
Probably. At G986047220, a question for the Schleg Daddy. What's your take on the Steve Bartman incident? Very sad. It's a shame that he ever had to take any type of heat or blame for that. The Cubs still gave up 8 runs in that fucking 8th inning in Game 6. There are a lot I could say about it. I'll say this, is that I would always hope that at some point in time, if this Cubs organization ever can find a way to become a contender and maybe actually get, I don't know, maybe to a World Series, that Bartman would be able to come out and throw out the first pitch at one of the home games in the World Series and get a big, huge ovation and hopefully help everybody move along from that incident once and for all. It's very sad, very tragic that it happened. At Aries Fan 690, what wrestler, past and present, that has never won a WWE title would you most have wanted to have a title reign? Let's go beyond the standard answers. Some of the standard answers could be Scott Hall, they could be Mr. Perfect, they could be Jake the Snake Roberts. Technically, DiBiase didn't have an official reign. Really, Andre the Giant never had an official reign. Let's think more outside of the box. Somebody less thought of, or maybe somebody in today's product that you would want to have a title in.
I don't know, because I don't necessarily think you need the title reign to be a big guy. Because, I mean, the guys you just listed, those are big names in wrestling that never held the title.
Well, I'm looking at this question. It says won a WWE title. You're just saying any WWE title? You're saying the WWE title. We'll go with the WWE title just to keep this more simplified. If I had to say, going back in the day, if I went back in the day, maybe JYD, I would have liked to have seen him have a mid-card strap for a while. What about somebody in the company today that I'd like to have the WWE title?
I mean, the easy answer is Riley. But
who would be the number one guy? You know, Kofi.
yeah, I think Kofi deserves it.
You could argue whether or not he deserves it. It's just maybe because they've never had a black WWE champion.
I mean, shit, they've thrown it on Ray.
I don't know. I'll go with Kofi Kingston. Shit, why not?
It's a good one.
Actually, you guys let us know out there what you think about that question. Remember to maybe. Yeah. Because they never had a British WWE champion, so you fit in that category too. Good answer. If you want questions of yours answered by us in future Q&A episodes, just go onto Twitter and tweet your questions to us. Our Twitter handle is what, Mikey?
@OffTheRopeShow.
Thanks for submitting all these questions that you have. We enjoy doing these Q&A, so keep it up, and we'll keep it up. See you later.